Hello friends, this is Bodhisattva channel and I am Praveen Basla here with a new video on viruses. Currently the world is dealing with SARS CoV-2 CoV-2 or earlier known as the COVID-19, which has created panic around the world. So in this video we're gonna see that what is virus, what is the structure of virus, what are the types of the viruses, and what is the role of soap and sanitizers in killing the viruses. So what is a virus? It is a small infectious agent that replicates only inside the living cell of an organism. Outside the living cell of our organism, virus is considered as non-living. So what a virus basically do, it enters into the host cell. There it reprogram the host DNA, converts it into its own DNA and replicate itself. So as it does not have its own DNA producing machinery outside the host cell, it is considered as non-living. As soon it enters into the host body, there it utilizes the DNA or the RNA of the host. Moving to the next, that what are the various parts of an virus. So we're gonna see this by a diagram, that here at the center it have nucleic acid genome. Basically it is the genetic material of the virus, which is either DNA or RNA, and this DNA or RNA or a genetic material is coated with a protein layer which is known as capsid. Here it is in spelling mistake, is called capsid. And this capsid in some viruses is covered with a lipid coat. Remember, in some viruses this capsid is covered with a lipid coat which is known as the envelope. Based upon this envelope, viruses are classified into the two types. First is enveloped virus. Those virus which have this lipid coat outside their protein coating. So these kind of the viruses survives only under the special condition, that is like wet conditions. They generally get destroyed in very harsh condition or the harsh temperature, and these viruses usually spread by body fluid like blood or the respiratory droplets. And the second type of the viruses are the naked viruses, the viruses that does not have the lipid coating outside their protein coat or the capsid. And what is the characteristic of these kind of the viruses? That they can survive in harsh condition and they are less susceptible to the environment condition like lipid solvent, pH, temperature than that of enveloped virus. And what are the example of these kind of the viruses? Norovirus, rotavirus, human papillomia viruses. Moving to the next, that what is the role of the sanitizers and soap in killing the viruses? Before knowing the role of the soap or the sanitizer, we must know about the type of the virus we are dealing. Currently we are dealing with COVID-19, or we called it SARS-CoV-2. So we must know what are the characteristic or what kind of a virus it is. So here we can see that it is an enveloped virus, that it have the lipid coat outside its protein coating. And what is the function of this lipid coat? It protects the virus from the host immunity. And here we also must see that novel coronaviruses has its genetic material is RNA. That is, the genetic material present inside the novel coronavirus is RNA. So what does the novel coronavirus do? It get enters into the host cell. There, by the process of the transcription, it converts the DNA of the host or the human cell into the RNA of its own RNA, and this is how it get multiply into a host cell. Here the diagram of the SARS-CoV-2 has given. Here we can see that it has spikes on its surface, and these spikes are simply known as the spike protein or the S protein, or also known as the glycoproteins. And what does these spikes do? They get bind to the receptors on the surface of the human cells. They get binds. These spikes get bind to the receptors of the human cells, and by there it enters into the human body, causing the person ill, or entering the body and replicate themselves, and finally causing the person to get ill. So now we can see that how the soap and sanitizer can kill this kind of the viruses. We have seen the structure of the virus, but now we must know the what is the characteristic of the soap, or what is the structure of the soap. So in soap there is one water loving end and another is oil loving end. So what happens, this oil loving end get attached to the lipid coating, that is envelope of the coronavirus or the COVID virus, and when it gets attached to it get strained, it gets stressed, and this lipid coat get destroyed, finally exposing this genetic material and the protein coat, which get destroyed eventually. Moving to the next, that what is the role of the sanitizer? Sanitizer destroys viruses in two ways. First is denaturation. What is denaturation? Actually, the genetic material, or we can say the RNA or the DNA, is present in the intangible form, that is this kind of the form. And what does sanitizer do? It denaturalizes this intangible protein. It converts it into a linear shape, and when it get converted into the linear shape, it loses its characteristics, and due to the loss in the characteristic, the virus get eventually destroyed. And second, sanitizers also break down the envelope of the virus, exposing the protein as well as the genetic material, and finally they get destroyed. So this is our video, and based upon this video, here are few questions that has been provided for you. You can attempt these questions and you can type your answer in comment. And if you like the video, please share, subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you very much.